Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to today's edition of the Matric Revision session. We are covering business studies today, and today the topic is environments and operations with facilitator Mogamad Imraan Majiet, head of business studies at Trafalgar High School. And I hand over to him. Remember that you can like and share the post with anyone who can benefit from it. Inshallah, it is recorded, so you can always go back to the lesson. I hand over to Muhammad Imran Majid.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Business Studies Day 12 Intervention Session 5. So, today we're going to focus on business operations and business environments. We're actually going to go over the paper. We're going to go over the June Common Paper, which we covered business environments and business operations. Everything was covered in that paper, and therefore we will now be going over some certain type of questions that will be asked to us in the examination for mocks and for our finals. So as I said, we're going to go over business environments and business operations. In session one and session two, we explained everything that would possibly come in, or the topics that would possibly be covered in business environments and business operations. Again, we will now explain how the paper works. So, paper one is business environments and business operations. Paper two, business roles and business ventures. So, how does the paper layout work? Section A is compulsory. So, you'll have three different types of questions in section A, which is compulsory. Section B, you'd have three questions. You get to choose two. And then section C would be your essay type questions where you have to choose one out of the two. So now we move to the paper. We have section A, which is compulsory, where various options are given as possible answers to the following questions. Choose the answer and write only the letter. So what you're going to do is, before we start, what you always need to have in your hand when you're writing an examination, you need to have a highlighter. Reason being, you're going to highlight the keywords. So, firstly, 1.1.1, better leather shoes, CC meaning close cooperation, gives a written warranty for all the products this consumer right refers to. So, a warranty for all the products, we highlight that, and then we look what goes with that. Accountability from suppliers, no. Be fair terms and conditions, maybe. Good quality and safety, maybe. Honest dealings, no. So we can scratch out A and D. So it's between B and C. And your answer then would be C. Good quality and safety. Reason being, it is a written warranty. So you need to have, the product needs to be of good quality. So 1.1.2, Typex Ltd sold all the assets to pay creditors due to a lack of capital. This strategy is known as. So it's the types of strategy. We know that selling all assets is liquidation and selling some assets is divestiture or divestment. So your answer there would be C. 1.1.3, Bright Lights Pty Ltd, a manufacturer of LED rechargeable lights, operates in the what sector? Manufacture, we now know that that is the secondary sector. Therefore, your answer is C. We now move over. 1.1.4, Tebogo and Sons used the recruitment method when they advertised a vacancy in the local paper. In the newspaper that is outside of the business, that means The answer is external. The answer is D, external. Fast and reliable data capturing and processing systems would be considered a quality indicator of the what function at Rhino Clothing. So we're looking at capturing and processing. We know purchasing doesn't take place here, marketing doesn't take place here, general management covers everything. So your answer would then be B, administration. On the next page, we move over. After this, guys, I will then give you the answers on the screen. What you're going to do is you're going to then screenshot the questions and answers. So please try to do the questions on your own first before you look at the answers. So 1.2.1. Remember how this works is they're going to give you two possible correct answers. So the one answer is correct. The other answer would then be a distractor. So quality inspection. So what inspection? The final product to ensure that it meets the required standards. So it can either be quality assurance or quality control. So you're then going to have to choose. And in this case, your final product would be quality control. 1.2.2, the can ask clarity seeking questions during the interview. So what is it, interviewee or interviewer? They are giving you the two distractors, and the answer is interviewee. 1.2.3 is the ability of a product or service to satisfy needs of customers. The answer there is straightforward. Quality is the ability of a product or service to satisfy specific needs of customers. 1.2.4 male employees are entitled to 10 days when his child is born. Is it family responsibility leave or paternity leave? Sorry, maternity leave. Um, Guys, please remember maternity is female, paternity is male. They don't give us paternity, therefore your answer would then be family responsibility leave. 1.2.5 Vegan Enterprises implemented what as a strategy by increasing its product range and markets? Your answer here would then be concentric diversification. We now move on. So 1.3, you're going to mix and match. You're going to choose the correct letter in column B and matching it with column A. So 1.3.1, the National Credit Act, as well as this one here, guys. Um, there is the correct answer and a distractor. Your correct answers or the two answers that will go together will always start with the same letter or the same word. So C and G is process and process, that's together. Um, D and H is two and two, it is together. So you do know that if you answer one of it, you have to scratch out the other one because the other one won't be the answer for the next question. So 1.3.1 National Credit Act will look what is the correct answer. The correct answer there would be to protect consumers against unfair reckless lending. Your answer is H. Market development. We're going to look for what is the answer by market development. And we go down to the last one. Businesses emphasize existing products in new markets. Therefore, your answer is J. We now move to the National Skills Development Strategy. We are looking for the word training that will go with this answer, and your answer is I. Increases access to programs that train people. 1.3.4 your selection process. We look for the answer, and your answer is E. Choosing a qualified candidate applicant for an available post based on the requirements of the job analysis. The last one now, induction. We look for the answer. It's between the two process. Is it process of introducing new employees to the business and its related aspects, or is it process whereby a new candidate is placed in a vacant position? G, we can scratch out your answer then would be C. And on the next page, I will then now give you all the answers that we went over. Please do take note that 1.1.2 is incorrect on the memo. The answer had to be C, which is liquidation. Remember, divestiture is selling some assets. Liquidation is selling all your assets. So these are the correct answers besides 1.1.2. We now move over to section B. So before we move over to section B, what I'm going to focus on here is only question 2 and question 3. Question 4 is a miscellaneous question, which now in fact covers both environments and operations. Therefore, I'm only going to focus mainly on environments as a question and mainly on operations as a question. So we move on. 2.1. Name any four pestle factors. So you're going to name them. We can name all. You can repeat after me. Pestle, political, economic, social, technological, legal, environment. So those are the factors of pestle. That's easy 3 marks for you. Then we move to 2.2. Outline the rights of employers according to the Labor Relations Act. So here they're telling you the rights of employers and not the employees. So there you just have to tweak a bit some of the answers. Remember, each answer is for 2 marks. And outline means it is double ticks and not split marks. So you can give your answer straightforward. And I'll give you the 3 shortest answers that you can write down, which would be form employer organizations, form a bargaining council for collective bargaining processes or purposes, and also employers have the right to lock out employees who engage in unprotected strikes. So that is the answer for 2.2. Remember, the keyword you're highlighting is employers. Again, I'm going to say the answers I will then provide on the next slide. 2.3.1, we have to read the scenario. So the scenario is genuine leather handbags, GLH. Genuine leather handbags is struggling due to the high crime in the area. The employees are hardworking and committed. The business did not have sufficient capital to expand. An international company wants to buy the handbags to sell overseas. So, what are you going to do? You're going to compile a SWOT analysis for GLH from the scenario above. So, what you're going to do is you're going to now quote from the scenario and place it into each of the SWOT analysis. So it's you quote when you quote, you have to quote from sentence from full stop to full stop. So a full sentence. So our strengths here is that the employees are hardworking and committed. That's the answer. Our weakness is that the business did not have sufficient capital to expand. Our opportunity is an international company wants to buy the handbags to sell overseas, and the threat is that the genuine leather handbags is struggling due to the high crime in the area. We now move on. 2.3.2 suggests one strategy to address the threat by question 2.3.1, and your answer there could be simply provide more security or work closely with the police forum in the community. We move on to 2.4. Identify the pillar of the broad based Black Economic Empowerment Act. The triple B double E that turbo cycling specialist has complied with in each statement below. So here you're going to only have to identify and name the pillar that comes along with the sentences below. Also, guys, please for your mocks and finals, try to focus on triple B double E. By the looks of it, somewhat they're going to ask this question. Actually, all the different types of acts, but I have a strong feeling personally for triple B double E, COIDA and the CPA. So do focus on those acts. I'm not saying don't focus on the others, but do focus on these as I have a strong feeling for triple B double E. So the first one we look at, they donated bicycles to a cycling club in a local community. So if a business donates or gives back to community, we all know that they form part of the CSR. And one of the pillars of triple B double E is now our social responsibility. So therefore your answer is social responsibility. Next one, a learnership program has been offered to matriculants in the community. We're now looking at learnerships. We know that forms part of skills development, and skills development is an pillar of the triple B double E. So therefore, your answer would be skills development. The next one would be bicycle parts are supplied by Iba Hisekile Traders, a medium-sized business with black ownership. So parts supply that you can highlight, and your answer here would now be enterprise and supplier development. And therefore, you can see now on the screen there is your answers to those questions. Please do screenshot the questions and answers. Do the questions on your own before looking at the memo. We now move on. So 2.6. Read the scenario below and answer the questions that follow. So we're looking at Honey Factory HF. The management at Honey Factory does not employ young women to work in the factory. They also do not appoint people with disabilities. 2.5.1. Quote two ways in which Honey Factory does not comply with the Employment Equity Act. So there's only two sentences, therefore you can write it down as is because those are your two facts that you're writing down. So that's 2 3 marks. Now 2.5.2. Recommend practical ways in which HF may comply with EEA. 6 marks, we are looking for three answers. I'm going to give you the shortest three answers, which is prepare an employment equity plan in consultation with employees. Business must guard against discriminatory appointments. And the last one you can write down, implement an employment equity plan. So there are three easy answers for you to write down. The next one, 2.6, discuss two integration strategies. So the three integration strategies that you can write down is forward, backward, and horizontal integration strategies. You're going to only mention two and you're going to discuss it, meaning you're going to explain it. So the way you can explain it here is that forward integration strategy means where a supplier buys over a business. Backward integration strategy, where a business buys over the supplier, and horizontal integration strategy, where a business buys over another business. Simple, elegant, and easy for you to get these marks. The next one, 2.7, advise businesses on the steps in strategy evaluation. Please do study this as well. Looks like it's going to come in your mocks and finals as well. Your answer that you can write here, we're only looking for two answers. even though there's quite a few looking for two easy answers because it is for 4 marks. Your answer here would then be examine the underlying basis of the business strategy, and another easy one would be take corrective action where necessary. Another easy one, what you can write down is set specific dates for control and follow up. Those are your answers, and I'll now display it on the screen. So you can take a screenshot as well and you can write down the answers. So that is now what will be covered in your business environments, some type of questions. We now move on to business operations. Question 3. So, question 3, list 4 sources of external recruitment. There are quite a few. You can answer that yourself, but I'll give you some answers. It will be recruitment agencies, billboards, printed media, electronic media, social media, walk-ins, and headhunting, just to name a few. So any one of those 4 you can write down. 3.2, elaborate on the meaning of placement as a human resource activity. Simple, you're just now giving the meaning of placement, which is a specific job is assigned to the specific selected candidate. So there's 2 marks already, and the other 2 marks will come from the qualifications of the selected candidate is matched with requirements of the job. Easy 2 answers, boys and girls. We move on to 3.3. Ranger stationers. Ranger, Ranger stationers advertised a vacancy for a receptionist in a local newspaper. The advertisement stated that the prospective candidate should have obtained a matric certificate and be computer literate. The receptionist will answer phones, prepare meeting and training venues, sort and distribute mail, and make travel plans for RS. 3.1, identify 2 components of job analysis. So, what's 2 components? Whenever you hear job analysis, do know it is job specification and job description. So, what is job specification? We are now looking at the specifics or the qualifications, and job description is now describing the job. So, there we have named the 2 components. So, specification, our motivation for job specification in the scenario would then be we're looking at the qualification. So it would be we're looking, let's just go through that. Okay, this is the second sentence. The answer, the advertisement stated that the prospective candidate should have obtained a matric certificate and be computer literate. So that's job specification. Job description would then be the receptionist will answer phones, prepare meetings and training venues, sort and distribute mail, and make travel plans for RS. Now move on to the next question. 3.2.2. Discuss the positive impact of fringe benefits of businesses. Do know that fringe benefits is such as your medical aid, housing allowance, um, your your pension fund, also your car allowance, all the allowances that you do get. So the positives about this benefits on businesses is that it attracts qualified employees who may positively contribute towards business goals, improves productivity, resulting in higher profitability, and a business saves money as benefits are deductible. So there are 3 answers that I've given you, the shortest 3 answers, um, for you to place that now under the positive impact of fringe benefits. Do know we only the most marks we do ask for question is 6 marks, so now 3 bullets under all your headings in for while you study. The only time you ask 4 bullets is in your essay. 3.4, explain the benefits of induction for the businesses, 4 marks. Remember, that's 2 bullets. So the easiest to would then be minimizes the need for ongoing training and development. And the next one is reduce staff turnover as new employees have been inducted properly. So answers I will then now place on the next slide. There we go. We now move over. All right. 3.5, smart clothing manufacturers. SCM, Smart Clothing Manufacturers, specializes in the production of sports clothing. SCM conducts market research to ensure they know the needs of their customers. The management ensures that they understand the business's operating and production systems. 3.5.1, we're going to identify two quality management elements applied by SCM. So we're talking about customers, so therefore we can immediately say that it is continuous or total client satisfaction. And they're talking about production systems, so therefore we can now say it is continuous improvement of processes and systems. Remember to highlight those keywords in order to answer the questions. 3.5.2, explain the impact of TQM if poorly implemented by businesses. Remember, guys, impact mainly is your positives and negatives. So you can give either positive or just negatives. So because it's poorly implemented, we're now giving the negatives. So you're going to mention three, and the three easy ones is that setting unrealistic deadlines that may not be achieved, the decline in productivity because of stoppages or delays, and the reputation of the business may suffer because of faulty products. We now move on. Your answers. Remember, you can screenshot your answers. Move on to the next. So that was your last question based on your skills development. We now move on to our essay questions. So remember, we're going to do two essays. You only get to choose one. So firstly, we're going to choose environments. We're going to go over the essay and how to actually write an essay. Remember, when we mark the essay, we now work with something called FLASO. FLASO is facts, 32 marks. Um, Layout, 2 marks, meaning you need to have the word introduction and the word conclusion. We have analysis, where you now have to have all four subheadings written down and underlined. Then we have synthesis, you have 16 or more facts. And we have originality, where you give two of your own original examples. So now we do move on. Coida. We're going to firstly we read the preamble. So the preamble, the Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Amendment Act, created in 1997, recognizes that some jobs are dangerous and expose workers to health risks. Businesses must ensure that they understand the impact of COIDA and on their operations and know the actions that could be regarded as non-compliant. Businesses must ensure compliance with regard to COIDA. So we're going to write an essay on COIDA in which you include the following aspects. So remember, these 4 bullets are your subheadings. So firstly, outline the purpose of COIDA, explain the impact of COIDA on businesses, discuss actions that are considered non-compliant with COIDA, and then recommend ways in which businesses can comply with the act. So under each of these 4 subheadings, you're going to have minimum 4 bullets in order to get your 32 marks. So I'm going to show you the memo and how it should be answered. So our introduction, we are only going to have 2 bullets. So you can choose the easiest 2 bullets, which is the first and third. So COIDA was introduced to protect the health and safety of employees in the workplace. You're basically giving the definition. It also provides for compensation if a worker dies due to a work-related injury or diseases. So that is your introduction. So you write down the word introduction and give 2 bullets. The next one, we're outlining the purpose of the COIDA. We're giving 4 bullets under here. So provides comprehensive protection to employees who get injured while performing their duties. COIDA applies to all casual workers who become ill or die due to a workplace accident. It excludes workers who are guilty of willful misconduct working outside South Africa for at least 12 months. The last one is force services. So those are 4 easy purposes of COIDA, and you will then get 8 marks there. Max is 10 marks, so you can actually get 5 bullets, but we're looking for 4 bullets to pass. The impact of COIDA on businesses, remember you can write either only positives or only negatives, or you can write both. So if you're writing positives only, you're giving 4 bullets. If you're writing negatives only, you're giving 4 bullets. If you're writing positives and negatives, then it's 2 bullets by positives and 2 bullets by negatives. I think it's best to give 2 bullets by positives and 2 by negatives because it makes it easier. So positives, I'm going to read out the easiest bullets for you. So it's promote safety in the workplace, and also the next easy one would then be eliminates time and cost spent on lengthy civil court proceedings. So that you can write 2 there. And the next 2 you can write by the negatives would then be claiming processes can be time consuming and domestic workers are not covered. So those are your impacts. There's easy 8 marks there. So the actions that are considered non-compliant with COIDA would then be employees who bribe or prevent employees from reporting the accident or injuries, employees who do not contribute to the compensation fund, employers who do not allow claims for injuries, discriminates against injured employees, and also employers that take too long to process claims. Remember, once you get injured in a workplace, you have to now um, tell your employer about it or complain within the first 5 to 7 working days. The last question would then be ways in which business can comply with the Act. Business should provide a health and safety working environment. They should register with the Compensation Commissioner and provide particulars of the business. Must keep records of employees' income and details of work for 4 years, and then obliged to report all incidents causing death, injury, or illness of employees. So that is 4 there also. So what we did is we gave 4 bullets under each heading. The next one is our conclusion. We only need 1 bullet here. Um, you can either sum it up or give a nice brief explanation or statement where you now say, we look at the third bullet, if death occurs, families may benefit as the deceased worker will be or may be substituted by another family member in the same industry. So therefore, we are only giving 1 bullet there, and that is for 2 marks. Therefore, we can now say we will get our 40 marks. The only thing that is not stipulated on the memo is your 2 original examples in order to get your 40 marks. As you can see, the explanation of the mark is here. We mark the first 32 answers or correct answers, and we then give the other 8 marks for our lasso. Our essay contains 56 marks. We only mark the first 32 marks. That is environments. We now move on to our last one, which is our operations essay. So, operations essay, business operations, quality of performance. So, quality management and quality performance forms part of a good management system. Businesses need to manage the purchasing and marketing function in a way so that it contributes to the success of the business. The PDCA model, as well as quality circles, plays a significant role in the continuous improvement to processes and systems. What are you going to do here? You're going to write an essay on quality of performance in which you address the following aspects. Outline the differences between quality management and quality control. Discuss how the following business functions can contribute to the success of the business: purchasing and marketing. Explain how businesses or business can comply with the PDCA. Remember, PDCA is plan, do, check, and act. Model steps to improve the quality of products. The last one is advise businesses on the role of quality circles as part of continuous improvement to processes and systems. So again, those four bullets are going to be your subheadings. We're working with Flasso, and the way we start off, we have the word introduction, you underline it, and we have two bullets under there. I'm going to give you the first two bullets, which is easy. So TQM is a thought of revolution in management where the entire business is operated with customer orientation in all business activities. The quality of performance in each business function directly influences the extent to which the business can achieve quality throughout the business. So there's your first 2 marks for introduction. 6.2, the difference between quality management and quality performance. You're going to have two bullets by quality of management and two bullets by quality of performance. So, quality management techniques or tools used to design or improve the quality of a product and can be used for accountability within each of the business functions. Quality performance, total performance of each department measured against the specified standards and can be obtained if all sections or departments work together towards the same quality standards. So there are your 3 8 marks. We move to the next subheading, which is your quality indicators on the following business functions. Remember, there was two: purchasing and marketing. So you're going to have two bullets under each one. So purchasing, business should buy raw materials in bulk at lower prices and then place orders timelessly and regular follow-ups to ensure that goods are delivered on time. We move over to the next one with marketing. You're doing the first two bullets as well. So acquire greater market share through good customer service and then win customers' loyalty by satisfying their needs and wants by building a positive relationship with them. So there's your next subheading with some easy marks once you understand what is being asked, boys and girls. I have covered all the topics. You can go back to session one and session two, where you can see everything on business environments that was covered and everything in session two of business operations that was covered. Therefore, if you know that, you will be able to answer these type of questions by heart. The next subheading is your PDCA model. So what you're doing here is you're actually first naming the PDCA models, which is for 2 marks each, and then you're giving one explanation. So plan, what are you going to answer here? The business should identify the problem. 2, the business should implement the change. Check, use data to analyze the results of change, and then act as needed. Implement the improvement to meet the needs of the business. Easy and simple, boys and girls. That's 8 marks plus 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 12 marks that you can score here. The last one, we were going to advise the role of the quality circles. We need 4 bullets here. It is to ensure that there are no duplication of activities, tasks in the workplace. Make suggestions for improving systems and processes in the workplace. Improve the quality of products through regular reviews of quality processes, and then monitor strategies to improve the smooth running of business operations. They are your 4 marks. Conclusion, we only need 1 bullet where we can write down quality is important for a business to be sustainable. Easy and simple, boys and girls. What you're going to do is you only, so that is 38 marks we covered. The other 2 marks will then come from your originality, which you are giving 2 examples, one under each heading. So you only need 2 examples. Therefore, you'll get 40 out of 40 for your essay. Remember, your essay is written in bullet point form, and that's how we're going to work with Flasso, and that's how we're going to pass, boys and girls. So now I've covered the paper one. We have now covered paper one. There's nothing else that we can cover from there. There's more different types of questions. What you're going to do is go over past papers dating back to 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 to see the different types of questions and the links between the questions. What questions will definitely come in the paper. Um, so next week will be the last session, session two, where we will now cover paper two, business roles and business ventures. If you need any help, you can contact me or email me on at Imraan Majiet 16 at gmail.com, or my cell phone number 061 359 4637. I will then send you these PowerPoints if you want it, and I will also help you with any questions that you do have. From my side, I would like to say shukran to all the listeners for listening and following. Do take screenshots of each slide and do attempt to answer the questions. Um, if you have friends in Matric, please share this link and video with them on Facebook and on YouTube. From my side, I do want to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.